Can I thank Independent Ireland for bringing this motion forward, which we're happy to support. This is an email I got. This is back in 2024, and I've been out sick for a few months, so I'm not sure where this has developed, but it gives you an indication of the despair and the consequences for protected disclosures of a case that I raised and submitted parliamentary questions. Sorry, this is an email back to me following up an issue for her. The issue, by the way, she was working in a children's residential institution with some of the most vulnerable children possible, and she alleged very, very serious allegations against the CEO and the staff of that residential institution with vulnerable children, made a protected disclosure and was concerned that the person in Tusla who was looking at the protected disclosure was also somebody who was in regular contact with the institution and therefore was not independent. Right? And, you know, so now I'm not in a position to judge the rights and wrongs of this, but you look at the human consequences of it. Sorry, only getting back to you now. I've been dealing with some health issues due to the stress of protective disclosure. Tusla were supposed to give me an outcome of the protective disclosure, but never did. Could you please bring the letter to the Minister's attention? I've lost everything due to this protective disclosure. While the people who have done wrong get to prosper, the lengths I went to for the last 20 years to change my life, from traveller barriers I faced to addictions and having my own trauma from the care system. This woman had been through the care system and then worked in it subsequently, doing what I was supposed to do as a mandated person and report wrongdoing. I finished therapy, I'm out of work 5 months. I won't go on, but you get the consequences of it. About very serious concerns that the people who are investigating the protected disclosure, very serious protected disclosure, have a conflict of interest. Here's another example in response. This is to do with members of the Defence Forces who come to me because they were working with they alleged, with dangerous chemicals that affected their health and even their ability to have children, right? And they allege that a presentation you get when you finish in the Defence Forces was denied them because they'd made a protected disclosure. When I put in a PQ about this to the Minister, this is the answer I got. I would like to thank the Deputy for his question. I'm not at liberty to discuss or comment on any protected disclosure. However, I am assured by military management that no member of the Defence Forces is denied anything on foot of having made a protected disclosure. Now, that is unbelievable. So, a member of Defence Forces says military management are penalising them for making a protected disclosure over the behaviour of military management, and the Minister goes to military management to ask, is this true? And military management says, of course it's not true. What else are they going to say? That's an answer from the Minister. It's outrageous. It's absolutely outrageous. And the Minister accepts that. Now, that's either incredible incompetence or, even worse, the Minister is in on it, is in on the attempt to suppress the protected disclosure with military management. Now, stop the clock then, if you're going to interrupt me. Stop the clock.
Just for people,
stop the clock.
Public gallery, please desist from making any reaction to any comments that are made. And just to warn the Deputy, any Deputy, not to make any comments about something that might be an ongoing investigation. So just to be careful with comments in relation to that. Thank you.
Lastly, just on foot of Louise O'Reilly's, Deputy O'Reilly's comments about workers, and this it's connected to protected disclosure, but it's more generally about workers facing problems in particular industries and the punishments they suffer. I have raised again and again and again the fact that film workers working in the film industry in this country have been blacklisted out of the industry. People who've worked 20, 30 and 40 years, gone out of the industry. Nothing, left with nothing, because they raised questions about the failure to implement things like the fixed term workers legislation. Now, I know for a fact, right, because I've met some of the line producers who employ the people, and they've said, I'll never be employing them again, based on their view of it. But they're the people who have the power, right? Now, the problem is that there's no independent adjudication of these things, and I have raised it again and again and again that the workers have no defence against blacklisting in the film industry, even though the Irish state funds the film industry. And what does the Department of Arts do when you say this to them? They go to the people against whom the allegations are made and say, are these allegations true? And the people who get the money from the department say, of course they're not true. Of course they're not true. We're totally innocent. So what else would they say? This has to stop.